So you know the goal is to go from a 7-figure company to an 8-figure company. And this is a really interesting story of how patience, how playing the long game, how preparing now for the future can really benefit you. So a while back, which Ryan Stewman's on the show, I met this guy Ryan Stewman, the hardcore closer. He's got a big network of people, and we started working together. Long story short with that, he introduced me to a guy by the name of David Goggins, United States Navy SEAL. So I had David Goggins come in and Alan Belcher, which is a UFC fighter, to do a motivation, a speech to hundreds of business people in Lancaster County area. I invited some of my competitors as well to hear him speak. And those competitors, we became friends, a few of them. And today, as we speak, before I got on this film about 30 minutes ago, we were just approved in the state of Texas to expand our company into the Dallas, Texas area. And that in and of itself is going to add a minimum, right from the door, $1 million to our top line. So we go from 5 to 6 million from a play that I did. I planted that seed with David Goggins a couple years ago, and we matured it, and it's finally come to fruition. Secondly, as we speak, we're opening up an insurance company. That in and of itself in a year is going to add another $1 million to the top line, putting us to 7 million. That's where we're at just now, and it's going to keep going. So there's a lot of strategy when you're building business. Today's topic, we're going to talk about Airbnb and rentals. It's one of the things that has gotten me to where I'm at today, and I'm probably going to say some things in the beginning that you're like, that's his business, it doesn't make sense. But I'm not actually a buyer of real estate right now. I'm a seller in today's market in June 13th here, 2019. And it's really supply and demand theory. So anything that is 1, 2, 3 units or a small project, I'm personally selling off all myself. This is one of my great single family properties, and I'll tell you what made it great is not only does it do great on Airbnb, is I bought it distressed. So I bought it at a massive discount with having a lot of equity on the back end, and I did that with cash. So one of the realtors that I work with, I would say we bought this for 140. We put about 70,000 into it, and the last appraisal was 325,000. And we Airbnb it in the summer. It's rented out pretty much 24/7 in the summer, and in the off season, probably anywhere from 10 to 15 days a month. And if you're looking around you, we're in the woods. Why did we buy properties here in this area? Well, we're in Lancaster County, so you got New York near us, you got Philadelphia, you got Washington, D.C., you have Baltimore. And a lot of people from the city want to get away. And this is pretty close to get away with a lot of other amenities, which you'll see when we're maybe driving around. There's a lake with a beach. There's an iconic jigger shop with everyone. You see everyone in the summer walking around with milkshakes and ice cream. And Airbnb, I love it at the end of the day. It's super secluded. This is an awesome little property, and the porch looks over out onto the lake. And this is an awesome business if a family, if the husband or wife stays at home with kids. Let's face it, that's one of the hardest jobs around. Takes all of your time. You're tired, you're exhausted. But this requires you generally some emails, text messages, some phone calls. And once in a while you have to come out to the property, but we have 2 or 3 cleaners that come out and clean it. They love it because they get paid between $80 and $120 to clean it every time. We have a maintenance person if something goes wrong. I think my wife comes here once a week, park down there for the kids, so she doubles it up. She takes the kids to the park, has some fun, and then comes here and does what she needs to do. And it allows her to be part of business because she wants to. You need to make, in my opinion, at least 2 times the amount of what you would get in normal monthly rent to make it worthwhile. My goal is 3. So if I can get $1,000 a month for this property, I need to be getting $3,000 a month from Airbnb. It's just not, otherwise it's not worth it. So it's really a competition at the end of the day. So if you can, I don't know if you can see up there, but when you look at all of these windows, when I bought this, it had mold damage and everything. These are picture windows overlooking the tree canopy. It looks like you're actually up there in the trees and you can see the lake from there. So it's beautiful. And when people come here, they like to relax, they like to sit there, have coffee, and look out. And it's all one floor living as well. I really wish I could get in there and show you. And the one down there is kind of like have you guys seen the tiny houses? It's where they really started kicking out and being I won't say a trend. It's similar to that because it's a really small, cozy, quaint house. And so they have unique selling propositions. They have something different than most of the other properties here. And it's also located privately. There's nothing that you can do over there. It's all state game lands. We're gonna start to head on out here. But a couple other things I wanted to say about real estate, Airbnb, and investing. So what happens is when everybody flocks to it, the prices of homes go up, the flips go up. You get a lot of inexperienced people doing it, and then they're not making any money. And there's only a few that are really doing it well. So what I've done is I flipped to the other side. I now lend the money to the investors because I find that I make the same money with doing zero work by lending it to them. So this is it. This is my opinions on Airbnb, real estate. Kind of recap, I'm a seller, not a buyer. I'm only a buyer if I can get it at a massive discount. And at that point too, I'm only a buyer if it has a lot of cash flow at the end of the day. If I'm starting out brand new or I'm just getting into it, you don't need to have my same train of thought. You can look for deals that will, whether it's a multi-unit, that will give you a little bit of cash flow, that the tenants pay it down. You know, maybe you have some appreciation at the end of the day, and you're building your assets that way slower. But there will be a time to where you'll say, well, it's not really worth my time. It's not worth my time anymore to keep buying 1, 2, 3, 4 unit properties. It's just not. So I hope you've learned some things from here and you've got some good points. I will tell you, this business, buying, selling real estate, is what got me to multiples of 7 figures. And if I do it over again, I would do the same thing. But now it's time to adapt and change, and this is what we're doing. So we're going to have bigger projects. We're actually investing money into people and businesses, which I find the value that you get compared to real estate is probably 10 times what you'll make if you invest in the right people. So appreciate it. You guys have a great day. We'll catch up.